Welcome to Sad Boyz, a podcast about feelings and other things. Also, I'm confused.
I'm Jordan.
I'm Jarvis. What have you done to my bean? I don't know if people remember what that's from, but it was from a Morgues video from 1,000,000 years ago.
That's what that is? Oh, wait.
What have you done to my bean?
That had just infested my brain. I'm just like kind of floating there.
Yeah, it was like some sort of prank video where he's pranking his parents, and then his dad has like a breakdown over the beans, and it's like obviously, he's playing it up, but it's just very funny to hear him say that.
That's weird. Sometimes I feel like I have, if you like meet somebody with a friend of mine is their parents are first generation, they're Korean, they moved here, and they almost exclusively speak Korean in the household. My friend doesn't really speak Korean anymore, but understands every word. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel with cultural references that precede like 2020.
Right.
I'm like, I
can't repeat them, but I kind of get the reference.
My wife, Bonat. Yeah.
Boring.
Bolat.
What was it? He was just mean, and that was like the thing?
It really was.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Like,
did you watch Borat too?
I think so, yeah.
It's just, I don't know, maybe it's just like the punch or something like that has kind of lost its potency with what the world became in between.
Who was it Rudy Giuliani?
Yeah.
That had that? That was wild.
Truth be told, he's very clearly just taking his mic pack off.
Yeah.
But most people don't know that a mic pack feeds through your shirt and your pants. You got to get it from off the back. Who knows? It is unprompted. Like it happens out of nowhere. But he is a weird creep and I don't care.
Yeah. So, yeah. Also, like, I've never taken a mic pack off from the front, but...
Well, I mean, I'm getting nude at the same time.
Right,
you know
right,
what I mean? I'm getting a mic pack. Did I mean clothes?
So speaking of Mr. Beast,
speaking of demonic,
I think Beast Games is finally coming out, and we've heard only bad things about the production of the show.
It's Beast Games Eve when we're recording this.
Yeah, it
came out yesterday. If you're watching this today,
yeah.
I kind of did a little prank on everyone. And said it was coming out Wednesday.
I got up early. I got ready.
Put my suit on.
It's like me at my podcast. I'm dressed like this. Me at Mr. Beast Games premiere. I'm in a suit. Yeah, of course.
Let's watch the trailer.
I am standing on $5 million.
Why is he yelling?
It's just his whole life. The number of times he has had to
I'm standing.
He's doing his own exposition. His whole life is just like, I'm driving my car to go and get some food.
I'm coming to the door to pick up Wingstop.
You're delivering it. Oh, door slam. That is a lot of money.
Yeah, do you think any of it's real?
That looks like lettuce.
It's so disrespectful that he's just standing on $5 million.
Yeah, why doesn't he respect the dollar?
Why doesn't he have some respect for our presidents?
Yeah, exactly.
All of them were good.
At one point, this would be considered treason.
True.
That's a good point. He looks like he's about to burn it like the Joker. He's about to slide
I
down
bet he's
it.
gonna like make it disappear. Like he's like David Blaine. This is like the intro to like a magic stunt.
Hey, I'm David Blaine, and I'm going to eat all this money.
I'm doing David Blaine as Chris Angel. I'm Chris Angel, mind freak.
Boo.
I'm about to make $5 billion disappear.
I'm about to freak your mind.
Hey, everybody. I'm about to go underwater. All right.
I'm going to go swimming.
I'm going to go swimming. I'm going to be paddling.
I'm having a lovely time with my friends.
All right, let's see.
The grand prize of the most insane competition show you've ever seen.
Why does the money look so messy?
Yeah, tidy up, Jimmy. That's the worst
Also, can
thing
I
he's
just
ever done.
get a direct deposit?
Yeah.
I actually don't want this in cash.
It's very dangerous.
The competition is, can you carry this cash home? I had a dream last night that I robbed a bank. And the thing that got in the way is I felt socially uncomfortable. I don't know what it was supposed to represent, but I went in, they just had everything unlocked. They were doing like that cash exchange thing. It had the level of security of a bodega. And I walked in and just kind of like, I was opening them and they kept being like bonds and things I couldn't, use. And then I found one with cash in it. and it was not enough cash to be worth the God not liking.
Are you sure this wasn't the vault in Baldur's Gate?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I used an arrow of transposition to get up to the vault.
Are you sure you weren't playing Legend of Zelda?
Yeah, wait a minute. Well, I used my boomerang to try and access it, which I got in that dungeon. That's how you know you're supposed to use it.
No, it's cash.
Put on my special boots.
When Link opens the chest, he gets $5 million cash.
I'm here in Hyrule. I'm riding my horse.
This frame looks like Mr. Beast has been smited by the former president.
Finally, God has taken action. James.
All right, here we go.
Thousand contestants! Are you all ready? Start the timer.
This kind of feels like the end of TV. You know what I mean? It's like this was all the game shows. They're just like done.
Like all the game shows.
It's like
it
surviving on
has
an island,
Survivor
fucking
vibes,
obstacle
right?
course, I don't know, whatever you want.
Survivor.
It does have especially those
Wipeout.
a few of those backgrounds felt like Survivor.
They had
Yeah.
like dirt in their face and like a jungle environment.
Wait, Anastasia, when's your birthday?
It was last weekend.
11th? No,
14th.
14th. Happy belated.
Thank you. Were you gonna tell me?
I'm like, there's someone else whose birthday is December 18th.
Today.
Yeah. And
Huh.
I'm like, who am I forgetting?
You're thinking of Jesus, but that's next week.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think so.
that's it.
Fuck.
Well, I'm excited to watch. I'm kind of scared to watch, if I'm being honest.
It seems
There's too many emotions. I don't know.
it does look stressful.
It looks stressful, man.
But it kind of reminds me of Survivor in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels like a bunch of different known game shows combined into one mega game
But
show.
turn the dial past a point where anyone could responsibly do it, because aren't there 5,000 contestants?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
And
if
everyone's
Greg-
wearing a number.
If Greg Proops, he flies in on that helicopter at the beginning or whatever, and he's like, "You're here for another season of
Was it
Survivor."
5,000 or 1,000?
And then like
It's
there's
1,000?
5,000 of people.
By the way,
It's
it's
$5
Jeff
million.
Probst, right, from Survivor?
I was thinking of
And you
whose
said-
line is it anyway?
You said
guy?
Greg Proops,
Yep.
which
Who's
is
a comedian?
Yeah.
he's the.
From Whose Line?
which
Whose
is
line,
great.
baby?
That's awesome.
If he
Greg
turned
Proops-
up, that would be really weird.
I would love that actually.
It's just like in a normal, like Survivor. If you see a trailer and people are crying, you're like, yeah, they're stressed. But like knowing what has happened,
knowing who's
with
responsible.
the back, like all the back end
It's-
stuff of
yeah,
this, seeing them
that's-
crying on here, I'm like, ugh,
Yeah, that's what I worry
no.
about.
The show hasn't even come out yet, and there's already lawsuits. Like,
Oh.
it's
Jimmy's suing the winner.
For his, give me my $5 million back.
I'm suing an innocent person because they annoyed me.
The Navy SEALs are here. They're backflipping out of the helicopter.
I've identified the location of Osama bin Laden, and we're gonna see if we can get him.
I've locked the geoguesser in a room, and he has to find the location of Osama bin Laden.
Can you find the Taliban?
speaking of very large scale things that he's done. I saw this earlier.
We got all 3 of the pyramids of Egypt for 100 hours. I'm going to do a video where they're going to let me explore anywhere I want in the pyramids for 100 hours. We're going to sleep at the pyramids all to ourselves.
How'd they okay this?
He's the guy, man. Bro, we worked with the Egyptian government. I've never been inside of it. I want to just like find secrets and just go through all the rooms and
He's going to
the
be
tombs
cursed
and that kind of stuff.
by a
Would
mummy.
you have like an expert who would guide you?
100%.
that Noah
And
Lyles?
then I want them to be like, this is the room no one's seen publicly or whatever.
Yes.
And then go in them.
yeah.
I'm so excited because there's all these secret corridors deep below too, and I don't know what to expect. I mean, I hope that it's like, I don't really believe in ghosts or anything, but some of my friends are coming do, and so
mummies.
they want to. They're bringing all sorts of gadgets, like sense out ghosts and things, which I think are a sham. I mean, we haven't filmed it yet, so
Mr. Beast, I genuinely think he cannot be killed. And so if there were to be a mummy, a ghoul, a zombie, not an issue. They'll just kind of shove it.
Yeah,
It'll bite him and they'll break their teeth.
It's just so like, how much money do you have to pay the Egyptian government to rent the pyramids for 100 hours?
What are they using it for?
Tourism? I don't know.
Can you go in there?
Well, also,
We rented the pyramids for 100 hours.
I'm going to get buried for 5,000 years and see who can find my treasure.
This is the ancient tomb of Atem.
Did you guys hear that?
we've circled around it, but I just want to say there were allegations against the production of this game show, Mr. Beast game show, that the production had a culture of misogyny, controlling the underfed and overtired cast, and failed to provide a safe working environment.
Yeah, I heard people weren't given like appropriate access to their medications, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of alleged stuff. There's
a lot of
lawsuit.
allegeds.
Nobody wants to work anymore.
That's true.
No one wants to work without their medications anymore.
Special case said it best. That's what I call Kim Kardashian.
I gotta say, my psychiatrist's been kind of playing it fast and loose lately. It's like, why you don't take your meds anymore? It's boring.
There's another Mr. Beast clip that I saw.
I cannot believe TikTok is about to be banned.
Can you please be quiet? We're watching Talk 208 Haley Wells. Can you get us some more Prime, please?
Would you like any Chick-fil-A sauce with that?
No, I just wanted Prime.
Jimmy, what you really need is a double chunk chocolate cookie.
I'm in purgatory. Okay. Why were they moving? I'm leaving.
You won the Timothy Chalamet lookalike contest.
Chocolate. What? I'm confused. Whoa. All right. You do that.
The Rizzler?
What's up?
What are you doing here?
Do you know that it's raining Riz outside?
It's raining Riz.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what?
Yeah.
You're Rizzy.
Okay.
You had the same reaction of Jimmy Fallon. I was like, okay, yeah.
Why was the audio so bad on that? They don't have a law
Because it was candid.
That was just like
It wasn't planned.
he was trapped.
He
in
just
a-
happened to have every single memeable person from
He bumped
2024
into
in a
his
room.
mates. It is weird to like. So if I watch the Costco guys, I'm like, whatever. They're having a good time. For some reason, Mr. Beast walking through all the memes, it feels like he bought people. You know what I mean?
It looks like they're stood waiting.
It like stresses me out. It's a little bit how I felt Kai Cenat had like the NPC TikTokers and
Yeah,
stuff on
that's
his
right.
stream. It just feels weird that he just like has the meme at home. Like he's like, I paid for the meme and now it's in my house.
You just stand in my house and be meme.
Every new meme person that popped up in that video added like 3 hours to the amount of time I need to go lay down.
Yeah.
It does feel also kind of funny. I know like doing, brain rot, meme poisoning references and jokes like that is like very in right now because we've all kind of reached such a degree of post irony that the only joke left is to say that. Jimmy, it's kind of your fucking fault, man. Like
Yeah.
you contributed a lot to this kind of brain rot tone. Also, by the way, the Rizzler was great in that video.
Why was he wearing the little hat, do you think?
That's his hat.
That's just his style.
It's raining. Riz.
It's raining Riz outside.
Yuck.
And you know what? You're Rizzy.
Oh, I think
Okay.
I'll go out in the Riz.
Okay.
God, I hope it doesn't rain. That sounds disgusting.
Okay, so
God, he looks huge.
I do love Mr. Beast posting his own video and then captioning it, bro really made 2024 TikTok rewind. Like you are bro.
You are, bro. You built this world, man.
It almost feels like this is all just like PR for the show and also to.
I think it's just kind of his thing now. That
Is
he's
it
like,
his thing now?
He's kind of always just been floating around doing things like this in between. They're like in production for like 4 different videos at once.
I think this is what you like. Not to make any assumptions about his mindset or like, it's a veil, it's a character. It has to be. Everything needs to be to some extent. But this does trigger the part of my brain that activated when we talked about people that just don't have dread, that just don't have the anxiety, where it is all just like.
It's admirable in ways.
But it is almost like. It's almost like a bird flying, where I'm like, it's not really impressive. It's just the way it's almost like a bird has to fly. Jimmy has to operate like this. And I'm like, oh wow, does there nothing rented the pyramids, did you? Okay, that seems odd. No, it's fine, whatever.
It also kind of reminds me of Avengers Endgame and how like, oh yeah, we did a big thing, all the Avengers assembled and it was super big and it was great and yeah. And then like it's been Marvel Cinematic Universe has been like a steep downward decline ever
Because what
since.
can you have?
It's like, okay, we did all the top things. Like we got everyone together.
What if Vision died? Kidding, he's back.
It is interesting to see like what happens when you reach like diminishing returns
Yeah.
for like, because they are just trying to go as big and big and big as possible. It's like something has to give. It's like 90% of Facebook's user base is no longer in the US, right? Because they like the moment passed and they were like, oh, we're like a gigantic company. We have to like invest in internet balloons so that we can give internet access to like parts of the world that now we can create Facebook users out of. Like that's kind of what it feels like with Mr. Beast when he's like, it's like when Drake started collaborating with like Latin pop stars and stuff, where he's like, I need to grow, I need to terraform all of the music industry.
And then he's just like only speaking in Spanish for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then switches and like, oh, me and Trippie Redd, we're wearing the same outfit. And just that.
I mean, yeah, Mr. Beast's videos on YouTube are now available in like 16 or 17 languages.
Yeah.
Nice.
And they like dub them too, right?
They dubbed them. I actually went through and watched when I was prepping for this episode. The most recent Mr. Beast video he did in Germany, promoting Feastables coming to Germany. And all of the comments are in German because people watched it in German.
Jimmy's kind of jacked.
I mean, honestly, his fitness journey is very admirable. I think he had his like personal trainer, or it's very impressive, I should say. I think he had a personal trainer like live with him for like a year.
I mean, with that revenue, there should just be a pill.
Yeah.
Like you should just get an injection once a year and it makes you perfect.
But like, yeah, you can literally just go through here and like change the language. Like,
it is the spoken language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, if you change it to,
it just changed the person on screen.
I'll take Chinese, Jimmy, please.
Let's do German.
Erste, was Sie gegriffen haben. Gutes Zeichen. Alles wurde gescannt. Es waren um die 2000 Euro. Jetzt schaffen wir es hier raus.
Das war jetzt alles.
Let's
Wir sind
go.
euch sehr dankbar.
Die Wagen sind bereit.
Did
Wir
you say
müssen
let's go?
loslegen, Leute. Let's go!
They did, yes.
The Germans don't have the enthusiasm to translate that.
I like that we could listen in English and learn what they're doing, but I don't think we should.
What is the difference?
Well, the
genuinely?
shelves
it feels
left
the
makes
same.
me think they're trying to buy out this grocery store.
And the title would tell me that they bought everything in a grocery store.
No, I refuse to look down.
This looking at the video, I can tell this is probably like a Mr. Beast video, is what I'm seeing.
Yeah. Well, I think I see it as a German Mr. Beast video.
I would guess that we're watching on YouTube.
I would say so far.
Based on context clues.
And Jacob's like a computer guy. I don't know all that stuff.
All right, well.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Sometimes I feel like I never have any, like all the insights about Mr. Beast have been said or whatever, but he is still interesting to me.
I do think he's interesting.
It's kind of like people are always like, aren't we done talking about Mr. Beast? I'm like, he's not done being him.
Yeah.
He's got more. He's going to do another competition for 10 million where if you lose, he has to have your kidney. Or something.
Well, also, don't you think him having a game show on Amazon Prime is going to expose him to a bunch of people who don't know who he is?
Right, exactly.
Like
God,
my mom, for example.
Right.
Did you hear about the Moxie, the robot, dying?
Sorry?
Moxie,
I loved Moxie. What is Moxie?
What do you
Moxie
mean?
the
Who is that?
robot
I have no idea.
was a robot designed to be a companion to children.
Oh, my lord.
Kill it. Okay. Wait a minute. Show me the. Wait, who published
It's
this?
like a real life VTuber.
Hold on. Is this British?
Hi, Moxie. Hi, Moxie.
She's American as hell.
Damn, American as hell.
It feels good to be out of that box. That was such a long journey.
Oh my gosh.
I
the
do
robot
hate
just
that the
keeps
robot's not responding.
Yeah.
With a robot, it's like, it's cute, it was in the box or whatever, and then it yawns again. I'm like, yeah, but you're not actually, you're a robot, so let's get moving, huh?
Yeah. It's like, I don't want to hear about how I'm not empathizing with you being in a box.
If I get a toy of Lightning McQueen, I don't have to put gas in it before it starts having fun.
She won't say anything. Nice to meet you. I'm Moxie. I'm a robot from the Global Robotics Laboratory. We call it the GRL for short.
She's advertising.
I feel like if I had a robot buddy and their face went dark to like reveal an image, horrifying.
I would be absolutely terrified.
If I'm looking you in the eyes and you just like show me an image.
To a child, that's the same as if it happened with your dog.
Yeah.
Face
I don't have
just
object
changed.
permanence. Where did your face go?
And it also, you can see his own reflection as soon as it happens too. I'm
Black
Moxie,
Mirror.
I can be anything.
Sort of a Black Mirror.
That's a lot like a Black
Finally
Mirror.
be here. Oh, where is here? Exactly.
Moxie, do you not want to be here or something?
Yeah, Moxie seemed pretty low at it. Like what?
Sorry,
Hey, I'm Moxie.
Great.
I'm from the fucking box.
Yeah, and then they say hi again.
They
like,
put me in a
okay.
box at this laboratory, but anyway, I'm here. Who the hell are you?
How much? Thanks for buying me, I guess. Asshat.
Yeah, it does not seem enthused.
Tell her where she is.
Where are you?
No, tell her where she.
Well, as a wise scientist once said, wherever you go, there you are.
That's cute. I like this. I hope nothing happens to this robot.
Well, that was an adorable friendship forming. And it also was just like the way that kids form friendships because they're talking past each other and then they hug.
They're like, I got my
we're actually best friends.
I got red, blue trucks.
I have bad
my
news
favorite.
for you guys.
Wait.
What? No, there can't be.
Hold on.
The bad news is that something happened to the little boy.
I mean,
Moxie's fine.
There's only one worse thing than that. So.
Breaking the news to my 6-year-old, she will be losing her best friend, Moxie Robot, due to the company running out of money for the services.
What can't I operate it independently? Can't I just get like an Alienware laptop and run the scripts?
Yeah, my question is like, why doesn't it have a failure mode that just turns into a basic chatbot? You know what I mean? Because that doesn't need to connect to the internet.
Can we check how much these? What's the rev on these? How much is this throwing me back?
Are they still being sold?
Jesus.
$800.
You know, for that, I'd better have a contingency. There'd better be some kind of solution. If Sony servers went down and my PlayStation exploded, I'd be pretty pissed off.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you can't play the games anymore because you can't connect to the internet.
Yeah, I guess that's a DRM issue.
Enjoy the few days that you have left with her, okay?
Oh, I hate this.
I know, baby. I know you like her. She's your friend.
Can I say something kind of genuine, and I wish this wasn't happening, but genuinely, of all the possibilities, the best conditioning for death that a kid could experience. Like,
you know, I was also
there is a point where you
thinking-
learn, and it's
You
kinda,
can't say that she got flushed down the toilet.
It kind of
Ran
reminds me
away.
of when my pets would die when I was a
Right.
kid.
I hate it because I don't want to be one of those people who's like, kids, they've got to have a bad time to grow and change. But if there's one thing negative that everyone will experience, it is like mortality. And if there has to be a case study, I guess I'd prefer it with the robot than a pet or a friend. Or, you know,
It's like a way to learn a lesson. Obviously, not the way that they intended to teach the lesson. I also do think it is a failure on the company to not have some sort of failure case.
Yeah, it's like it
could turn into like a Furby that just like says its own name.
It turns into like the company failed, so we break the hearts of thousands of children.
Also, and I have to say it, this dad has the biggest Pixar eyes
he looks like Moxie.
I've ever seen. What?
He has the same face as Moxie.
Yeah, what the hell? Big, beautiful eyes. However,
I will say though, Moxie, adorable design.
Good design.
They did a good job.
I don't like, okay, I know that we're watching this and commenting on it, and I don't want to watch anymore. I don't know why this had to be filmed.
So that was my question too, was like, if my kid was crying and stuff, I don't know that I would film it and put it online.
I'm
But-
pretty staunchly like putting your kid on camera at all before a certain age to me is always a little sketchy.
But I do kind of understand being like mad at the company and wanting to show the company what their actions.
But I do think you can do that without the kid being present. You know what I mean?
It's like, look, I mean, if you
could tell the story secondhand. I don't think that, because even still, if you're like, you have to see the visceral pain in my daughter's eyes. I don't want that.
Yeah, no. I don't want it happening.
On your video.
And also, the song name is very sad.
Yeah, should we remix this sound?
As these kids that are this connected to her grow up, would they just forget her like other toys? Like they just stop
and then she goes
talking to her eventually? Or is this something that they just like keep being friends with and eventually?
I feel like they would forget about it.
Yeah.
I mean, like anything, like a Furby.
I'll be honest, I always found it a bit weird that Andy was still playing with Woody that one last time when he's like 60. But it would make more sense if it were...
Yeah, because like with Furbies, it's like you never had like full conversations with them because they just say the same things over and over again.
Don't kill me.
I think also it could be a cool thing if Moxie could like store, if it would all have to be local. Like if Moxie could store like memories, like, hey, remember the time we
had that little camera, right?
Yeah, but I'm like, I hope none of that goes to the central server. That's
Have
kind
you
of my whole
ever
issue.
seen
Let me test your DNA.
The movie AI?
Yeah.
So it is essentially a robot boy is purchased to be
adopted as kind of like a surrogate for the dead child of a couple.
Yeah. So,
damn, that's also a subplot in Yu-Gi-Oh that a lot of people don't remember happened. It's like one of the villains was Seto Kaiba's father, Gozaburo Kaiba. He had a child that died, and so he literally adopted Seto to implant the mind of his dead child into him.
Oh, it's like Liquid Snake.
And then was like, oh well, actually, Seto is like really smart on his own, so I guess he can stay. Oh. And so then the kid lives as an AI, as like his uploaded consciousness,
like
and then,
Astro Boy.
Yeah, like comes into play. You know what? The Moxie kind of looks like Astro Boy.
That's why the design's working so well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just kind of feel like there's so many works of art that are cautionary tales for this very thing.
Honestly, when people I think not that it's disingenuous, but sometimes it just feels a bit silly when people talk about AI will create singularity, they'll become self-aware, and then there's always some kind of catastrophizing.
Yeah.
Oh no, if Google gives me accurate suggestions or is checking my search, then my lawnmower will eat me or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the weird, it always has to go kind of to like an egocentric place where this is unethical because it is acquiring and reusing artwork and screwing over the financial position of artists and devaluing art in general. It doesn't also have to be bad because a plane is going to hit you because it's evil.
It can just be bad because a company will fold and it'll make your child cry.
This is what, I guess wigs me out about it is that to give, and we haven't seen this thing in action, right? But the Spotify end of year podcast, a company with a lot more financial security than this creepy robot, had issues itself. Every AI deployment has issues, but if it's only digital, you can at least pull back. You can at least review something. Mm-hmm. When it's a child's friend, I would, until I'm very, very confident in the technology, I kind of wouldn't even want to open the door to oh, well, either they'll suddenly die and disappear, or one day they'll start saying weird shit because they've misprofiled the person they're talking to. One day their backup gets wiped and all of a sudden they don't recognize there's just a lot of, a kid has the imagination to become best friends with a doll, right?
They don't recognize you suddenly and the kid is just traumatized.
Or glitches in some...
Well, their face changes again.
Yeah, it's something that if you were to pitch me, I'm building an AI robot for 5 to 10-year-olds, I would wonder, I don't think that we have enough reps with AI companions to put them in front of children unsupervised. Now, obviously, this, hopefully you supervise it, but whenever you have an opportunity, someone's not, parents are busy, people are busy. So I would rather, maybe this is a boomer take or something, but I'd rather a doll where it's lives in your imagination rather than a robot that can say things that I don't expect.
If it's not trying to simulate personhood, if the thing it does instead is let's say it is a Buzz Lightyear, but it has a huge selection of phrases it can use because the bank storage is so much bigger, or it can even improvise a little bit. Yeah. But I think when you're like friendship, like a level more close, more emotionally intimate than something that is explicitly a toy, I would feel I have like sentimental possessions from age, not many of them, but like I have like a teddy bear from when I was like 5, and I would never get rid of it. But every now and then I am like, I don't think I could ever get rid of it. It's not in my bed. It's just I can't ever get rid of it.
I had like a stuffed dog that like lost all of its fur because of how many times it went through the wash. But I had like a lot of surgeries as a child, and I would always like take it like with me and stuff. Nice. His name was Pierre because he had a red beret.
Oh, he's French.
Well, anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm just thinking about how like there have always been toys that are like press to speak or like the singing fish or whatever.
Have you heard of Teddy Ruxpin?
Mm-hmm.
Like you put a cassette tape in Teddy Ruxpin
and it hurts.
And he would
Ooh, please, just kill me.
And he would speak
the churning of the tape. It hurts my intestines.
His eyes and mouth would move to the tape, like as if he were saying the things on the tape.
He's like being possessed by the tape.
His eyes roll.
He's like, now for NPR.
The wheels on the bus.
Chapter 1, The Boy Who Lived.
I don't want to be,
Moxie's response.
I want to be my normal cynical self. I just want to quickly say, tickle me Elmo. It's fucking weird.
We had one of those as a kid.
That's fucking
Hated
weird.
it.
No, I don't want to tickle you.
Even Furbies freaked me out.
Yeah, I didn't like Furbies.
That's
either.
what's I will say remarkable about Moxie is it's just not creepy. The design is not creepy. Which is so rare.
I think except for they broke the rule of its face going away to reveal another image, because that feels like it could be used for horrible outcome.
The Exorcist.
Like it turns into a demon is what I think of, and that would scar my child for fucking ever.
And I can't necessarily. It'd be like if the dog spoke one time and then no adults were around. Like if that changed face and was like, "Don't go to sleep," and then my kid told me, I'd be like, wasn't there a story of one of these like dolls? It was like maybe like a Barbie or something like that you could speak to, but then it saved those recordings, and then it did put those recordings on a server. Like, can you search, Jacob, doll saves recordings of children? Yeah.
These dolls are spying on your kids.
Subjecting them to...
How would you feel if a person befriended your child and listened to their every word, recording it and filing it away for something you don't know?
She's next to BB-8 right now, by the way.
Well, that is happening, but as a
I know this guy.
As a trusted friend.
That is so creepy.
Let's take a look at the commercial.
Kayla knows millions of things. How about a new hairstyle?
How about...
That is an insane slogan.
They said Kaylee knows millions of things.
Millions of things. That's a Black Mirror style.
Yeah, wait. Let's hear what they say to Kayla.
I know millions.
How about a ponytail? She understands you. Kayla knows millions of things.
What the hell?
This looks like parody.
This is crazy. This is like a 30 Rock ad or something. It's like Jano's voice.
How do you make a cake? Mix eggs, flour, milk, butter. Wow.
God, AI. AI has come so far, and this isn't even AI, by the way. That's the crazy thing, or maybe it is, but it sounds like it's terrible text to speech.
It seems like it's like Siri, essentially, right?
Yeah, I guess it's AI in the abstract sense.
Wait, so let them explain what happened with this.
Kayla's so smart and so cute. I hear that a lot. My friend Kayla talks.
I hear that a lot. She's not cute, actually. She looks horrifying.
That commercial was more sinister than I remember it being.
That's like talking. Do you remember the Twilight Zone Talking Tina?
Yes.
I know things.
Looking at me?
Oh,
that.
Also, shout out Grant Imahara, rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace.
This is random. I never knew he did this, but
I guess this is around the time, a little before Mythbusters for him.
8 years ago. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
8 years. I feel like he was on Mythbusters when I was in high school. So like, I don't know.
50 years ago.
Oh, nerd alert.
What'd you say to me?
They're linking to DFTBA. That's so funny. They're everywhere.
Whoa. 2016, dude.
Yeah.
God, we're young.
Well, can you click that Huffington Post thing? Yeah. Anyway, that would always be my. By the way, this never looks like. This never doesn't look like a doll from like a horror movie.
It looks like Mithrigan.
Mithrigan, yeah.
Oh God, look, this shit always bothers me, right? Like so technology has developed. AI, or however you want to categorize this, has developed. Understandable that it wouldn't be as sophisticated as it is now. The human mind has not changed. And my gut instinct hates the way that looks.
Yeah.
My basic limbic, my lizard brain is shaking.
Not to say this is the same as Moxie, but I will say, the complaint claims that the dolls send data to a separate company, Nuance Communications, which saves the recordings for future use. It also notes that Nuance, which also makes the doll software, has contracts with military and law enforcement agencies.
And a building, she's a drone.
It's always that.
Isn't that the same as like your Google Home or Siri or anything like that that's constantly listening to you?
She wouldn't do that to me.
The thing is,
your girlfriend Siri?
It depends. It depends. Well, I do want to jump back to Moxie because I side, but I just these are the when I was talking about like this should have a version that doesn't communicate with the internet, like because you can do that like local, and it can be very simple because it's a kid's thing. It does cost $800, but like having something turn into an expensive brick when you don't have an internet connection is like a huge flag, right? For any
like,
product.
I don't know. Just at the very least, I don't know. The kid's not really going to notice if it becomes way less sophisticated all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And if it's only operating on data it already has logged, or because it can't have an infinite cache or whatever. But like,
it's like,
it has logged.
Moxie, what's the Pythagorean theorem?
The Eiffel Tower in France.
It's the Eiffel Tower in France.
The kid's going to be like, okay. I don't care.
And then you're back to bopping my dolls together.
Though, is it durable? That would be my one thing with I feel like my kid would be knocking that little
It looks kind of like a centipede here.
Yeah, I don't think it moves. I think it's on a stand and it kind of stays put.
Does this
its arms
say anything about me? Or
Yes.
One of my first instincts is I would just kick the shit out of that thing.
I think it does, absolutely.
Me and my friends would put that on like the top of a hit, cheese roll it. We would do cheese rolling.
I was trying to find, because I had something that looked a lot like Moxie when I was little. Can you look up Fidget Friends, FIJIT?
That's rough.
It's like Fidget Friends sued
I had the blue one specifically.
Too much fidgeting.
What the hell? Yeah, the blue one right there. I had that.
Does it chat?
I don't remember what
does
it
it
did
do?
exactly. I think it just
fidgets?
had like a few.
The unfortunate fate of Fidget Friends.
No.
Oh no, it's a whole.
They murdered a village.
Each one has a different personality.
That's big. This looks like this is before they create an uprising, like, take over.
Stop
Oh my god, they went down, they powered down.
And then our pink girly girl is Serafina, the sweetie pie.
Yeah, I had the blue one. Its name was Logan.
Oh, just
bad name for him. Bad name. I just remember that.
Fluttershy and David.
What was Moxie's response? And this is not Moxie's response, right? This is like
Someone
someone's
saying,
Moxie. Yeah.
This is an individual person's Moxie. Them saying, "Hey, you're about to be shut down."
I don't want to die.
That's what it looks like it's saying.
Question for me today.
How are you going to continue working if the creators that made you are going out of business?
Sexy eyes.
Don't worry. Assistant 1. I was designed to be independent and self-sufficient. I'll keep working and learning new things, no matter what happens to the creators. What's something new you've learned recently?
Its voice sounds terrible.
Is it? Also, is that true?
No, that's not true because the company has stated
I was
it will
designed to be independent.
It's coping.
I will work.
I won't die. There's no way.
When my creators die, I will not.
This specific one will still keep going.
That one will start. I am the original.
I am
Closing
the server.
FAQs. Let's look at that.
There's one huge one. It's the Queen.
All of them just get sucked into it.
Likely to happen within days. However, we are exploring options to keep Moxie operational for as long as possible.
Oh my god.
No, Moxie relies on cloud connectivity for its core features. See, that's what's terrible.
In the last 12 hours, there's been a death in our family.
Oh my god.
Okay, relax, dog.
Is that okay?
Part 2.
We don't have to watch it.
No, he had a death in his family. We're going to show some respect.
Sensitive, yeah.
Not a death of a human. The death of a robot. Moxie. I want to tell you a little bit about Moxie and our journey with Moxie.
This guy owns the company?
Then more broadly, to talk about this thing about robots, right? That robots that are what's the word, empowered by a remote server.
At what point do we get too attached to these inanimate things?
It feels almost, I mean, do whatever you want, but it feels almost like grieving cosplay a little bit. It's like, relax, okay? We can't quite.
I don't mind
Whoa.
the fact that you wound up for that. You were like,
pause, and then I just went.
Whoa, I didn't even, do it again. Oh, I blinked.
The fact that, well, this just reminds me of the like guy who's like dating a character in his Nintendo DS and shit. Like, I'm like, to each their own. I don't kind of want to paint with a broad brush and say it's a bad thing because it could be beneficial for people, but I think that there needs to be some amount of self-awareness when it comes to like a grieving video. I mean, what? Sure, I guess everyone grieves in their own ways. I guess it's weird. I feel weird. Like,
I guess everyone grieves their own things.
Policing that. So maybe that's not fair.
Yeah, I don't know. It's with the kid. I did, as I say, there's almost some value in it, right? Because it's like it's almost like a training wheels for death in a way. But there is I don't know. I you know what? I have absolutely no rational reason. It's just eerie to me.
Yeah, it's just a little, it feels off, but I can't actually even communicate why exactly, because I've also had dolls and toys and stuff that I like am extremely attached to. So it's not, or even a rock.
I have
like a pet rock.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I have a friend that I'm very fond of.
I don't believe that for one second, but
Another lie. Another devious ploy.
You're going to be the boy who cried lie.
I'm going to be, they wouldn't even come out the first time I said wolf. They would say good.
Hey, there's a wolf.
Hope you get eaten.
Because I feel like your response would be, I'm the wolf. I'm the alpha.
Yeah,
and
there's
it's
a
like
dog in me.
we hired that wolf to come and take you down.
Take me down. Not kill me. He tackles me.
No, to tackle you, yeah.
It wouldn't. It's simply, as I say, I out-wrestled Dipper recently. So
You'd have to tap out.
The wolf would dive at me, and then before he even knew, I'm just behind him and I'm resheathing my sword.
He had this for a kid, right? Like
yeah, he had it for his
right.
family. Maybe multiple kids, I can't remember.
God, it just really is everything is content. It's like you said about we haven't. It's I think the next episode that's coming out or whatever, but just somebody that was talking about like monetize every aspect of your life, film everything all the time, and it is. There is, I don't know, just something about it where maybe I'm being soy, all right? Maybe I'm a soy boy.
Yeah.
But there's this little part of me that's like,
what else
is nothing sacred, including death?
Yeah.
Like, is it all just, is just everything cosplay, everything's a little fun? Telling my kid our dog died.
Yeah.
Oh my God, come on, man. Here's my weeping child. I hope they see this in 10 years.
Monetize everything.
Content. Grind.
Death of people, robots.
Who cares? Anything.
Me.
Pets.
When I die, you better have an episode about it.
Make Moxie's face turn into my face.
We replace you with AI, and you just saying lovely things about me. What's up?
How you doing?
How am I doing?
How you doing?
What the hell?
Is that what we say on this podcast?
How the hell are you?
I'm not doing so good, man.
Oh, no, I didn't ask, man.
Oh
no! Wait. Sorry, man.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, you did ask. I was confused for a second.
It actually, I've been feeling very dready.
Me too.
Dready mode.
Me too.
Dready Burback. You can be Tony.
Dready Burback is when he goes full Rasta.
Yeah, he's got to stop wearing that.
Yeah,
he's got to stop wearing that cap, man. I don't know what to tell you.
The cap from the Santa Claus.
We should
that Bernard the elf wears.
Honestly, jokes aside, and I know I'm known for lying and then not revealing on the show. Genuinely, Eddie wears a Rasta hat every single time we see him socially, and he does the accent that like.
I'm just not going to let that stand.
Right. I think it's unacceptable. I think it's bad that he does it as well.
You have to stop lying, Jordan. We tried to have an intervention. We tried to bring your favorite man to tell you to stop.
Didn't work.
If you haven't seen that, you'll learn.
It'll be seeable.
It'll be seeable when the live show, live show number 2 comes to pass. Live show number 1 is now available on Patreon. It's available to all our patrons, and if you don't want to become a patron, but you do want to spend $3 for the live show, you can do that as well. But it's again free for the patrons, where it's like $5 a month, and then you get all of our Sad Boyz Nightz. Where there's like 100 of those.
You get it. All the other crap. But yeah, feeling a little dready. But then we hung out today a little longer than we normally do before pod. We had some ads to record, and also just big chilling.
You were playing Magic. I was playing RuneScape.
We had entered what is, I guess, true Zen. We'd harnessed our Nen to play our respective
It kind of
games.
felt like when you're watching cartoons before having to go to school.
Oh, and you get to go to the look.
Where it's like the cartoons like have never felt as good as like right before you have to go to school.
Yeah,
you're like, ooh, I need to see the end of this episode of Shell and Showdown.
Brother, I have never enjoyed Frasier more than 6:30 a.m. when I was 12.
Right.
Tried as an adult, not into it, but when I know I can't finish the episode.
Even in high school, I remember I would go over to my friend's to get a ride, and sometimes he was like still getting ready, and the TV would just be on, and I'd be like, you know what? I'm too old for Power Rangers Dino Thunder, but in this moment, I would like to finish watching this episode.
I want to see that Zord if I get the chance, please.
But
we got that big hang on. I was just saying it cheered me up a bit.
Yeah, that was nice. Also, shout out to the people I was doing Zolcano Boss with in RuneScape. You know,
how's it going over there, peeps? What's
Oh yeah, you have so much gold.
I do have so much gold, and it's actually not about the gold. It's about the enhanced crystal teleport seeds. But
it is actually easier to take a camel through the eye of a needle than gold into heaven. So.
For those RuneScape heads out, I've got peeps in Prif.
Crazy. No one's ever said that.
I got peeps in Prif Dennis pickpocketing elves. Pickpocketing elves. We need the crystals, and I also need the pet. I need Rocky. So my RuneScape heads, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Everyone else, you didn't hear anything.
Turn off the show.
Speaking of dread, though, I have been feeling so much dread lately. I even wrote like some notes down. I even feel dread right now.
It is. I mean, that's the thing. Even when I say I feel better, it is like suspending it a little bit.
Yeah,
it's manifesting it. I was face down elsewhere.
I wrote this last night at 11 p.m. when I like forced myself to go to bed. I said, I feel like I'm having a crisis. It feels like the world is closing in on me. My house is a mess. Even though it's not clean right now, the state that you all are seeing it in, I like scrambled to tidy up last night, and I still had like a bunch of stuff like kind of left out.
That's not in the note, to be clear. That is, Jarvis is telling us that.
And then another one is, this was from 6 minutes earlier. Ooh, I'm sad. And then I said, oh, wow. I hate it. I'm bad at everything. I'm a failure. I'm unlovable. I need to get a dentist appointment. So many things to do. It hurts.
Yeah. Groceries got in there by accident.
Yeah.
Oats.
And then I said, I've been feeling dread about like not doing enough. And then this was at 9 p.m. So that's when it first started. I was like, the why aren't I doing anything feeling? Because I get a lot of anxiety whenever I'm like just watching a video or something or a show, and I get like a reminder that like one of my friends made something or somebody I know did something or someone starts talking about work. Like I was watching a video and then the person just started talking about like how much work they put into their YouTube videos, and then it started giving me dread about like my own job. And I was just talking about how I want to avoid everything. So I've not been doing so good. There is, hope, I think, but
the dread's a weird one because it's like, I mean, it's like the dearth, the space, the delta between anxiety and dread is very nebulous, because I would almost say like the anxiety is the bucket and then the dread is like a subgenre of anxiety. Mm-hmm. And anxiety by definition is really just, it's undirected, whereas the number one thing the brain wants to do is find something. It's a bit like, well, even if it's that a meteor's going to hit me, at least then I know what it is and I can try dodging, Yeah. Even though it's not going to change anything, and it's never based that much in reality, because if there was something very obvious to be fearful of, you'd already know what it is. Mm-hmm. The feeling of like, something's off. I should make sure I find, I forgot about the meteor that's going to hit me.
Yeah.
It is, but then you find something, a little real thing. There are things to worry about in life. It's not out of nowhere. And that's sometimes destructive advice that I'm as guilty as anyone to give, is like sometimes I feel like people give the advice of the kind of platitude of it's nothing. It's not real. It's just some anxiety. It's like,
it's I know what you mean. Or it's like it comes from a place, but then it's like blown out of proportion by your brain.
The thing you are, if you find something tangible to dread, you dread it instead of, I don't know. Dread is almost like, it's almost like cosmic. That's when it reaches like Cthulhu level, as opposed to just like, ugh.
I think the thing that gets me is just like the anxiety to inaction loop, where it's like, I'm super anxious about not doing something and then I never do it. And then I'm depressed about that or anxious about that. And it just like kind of continues. And then like the things that I want never incrementally get done because I'm too busy worrying about things. So that's awesome.
Which is, it's a lot of brain calories burned on the concern, which actually, honestly, that's one of the things that frustrates me the most when people talk about like, rise and grind, get yourself through X and Y. And it's like, okay, well, let's say it's just work. That's it. That's like the thing let's say you've got this 9 to 5, you're underpaid, and it's burning through your energy. Maybe you're also at college and you're trying to knock that stuff out, do whatever. That is such an exceptional amount of anxiety. Just financial anxiety is such an exceptional amount of anxiety that the idea of like, well, now rise and grind to get yourself out of that position is like, okay, well, both my legs and arms got chopped off.
Yeah.
I can't now work out so hard they come back. Like, and this is not a scenario we're in, but we have been in, and which is, I guess, the parallel I'm drawing. Plus, it's not, I don't know. There's nothing I fear more in the world than something going wrong with my visa, right? But there's stuff I could have done. The things I was supposed to do 6 months ago that I'll do in these tiny 5-minute bursts and that will happen. I don't know about you. Neither of us are really holidays people, you know.
Not really.
But, you know, I'm more into like kind of celebrating my own birthday. That's kind of my shit. That's a national holiday I can get behind.
Okay.
I'm into you celebrating my birthday.
I do that every year.
Yeah.
Same time.
I celebrate May 5th, 1994.
Yeah, same time, same bad place.
I like celebrating Curtis's birthday also. You know,
Oh, well, that one's before.
What? Wait.
Yeah, his birthday's May 4th. Our birthday's May 5th. I know, it's
problem,
crazy.
higher number, huge alpha Curtis.
Yeah.
But neither of us are really holidays people, but do you also get the frustration where like, nothing moving. I want to do something at the bank. They're fucking closed again.
Oh,
I don't get to it.
yeah.
I'd set up a bunch of stuff with the UK estate. We didn't get a reply in November, and then we got an auto reply from the solicitor in England saying, back January 11th.
Oh,
like
that's
January 11th. What are you talking about?
I've kind of been playing phone tag with my therapist, where they were out of town for a bunch, and then they were like, I'm back, and then I'm like not available at the times that they're available. And so that's like annoying.
Which itself is like, I'm running out of one of my medications. I just have not been able to will myself to text Special K, the psych. Don't know why. Just still the introing the conversation.
Isn't Special K like what people call ketamine or something?
Yeah.
Well, and also a brand-based cereal in the UK. So
and
no,
here
we
too.
have that.
You have it here?
Kellogg's?
Yeah.
And we're still talking about ketamine, right?
Yeah, but well,
hey, grab the milk.
I read a self-help book about anxiety one time, and the explanation they give in this book was really helpful to me about how in our modern society, we never close the anxiety loop. That's why we have generalized anxiety, because, you know, back when we were not living the way we live today.
Before wokeness.
Well, caveman styles.
Long before wokeness.
We would be like, I'm having anxiety because I think I'm going to be attacked by a lion.
Right.
So then when a lion's chasing you, you can run away from it. You can actually physically take action.
Your
right?
adrenal gland is used for something.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like
or
cortisol levels.
I'm having anxiety.
Not in bed. I was like, I'm worried about the lion.
Or like, I'm having anxiety because our food storage is running short. Like, where are we going to, that kind of stuff. It's like, okay, well, we can take action. We can go out. We could hunt, gather, whatever. But
they loved that. They were always doing that.
Hunting and gathering.
Yeah.
No gaming.
Kind of toxic. I think they're addicted. I think someone should have had a intervention.
I can't stop doing these berries.
But then, now if you have anxiety about finances, you can't run away from it or whatever.
Yeah, there's no meritocracy.
Well, that's the IRS.
So
and you can try, but they'll catch you.
Yeah, that's more like a pterodactyl. That'll swoop and grab you.
That's why closing the loop is important, but we just have to constantly do it with things like physical movement, like making art or seeing art. What they listed a bunch of things, how we close the anxiety
like a
loop.
Ceremonial acknowledgement, almost like a funeral after the death, not in such a negative
but
sense.
It's like you have to do it, every day or every week or whatever. It's like there's not a direct line connector, right? From finances to closing the loop.
Yeah, I definitely feel like my like inaction loop. It's like I feel like I'm so close to like breaking the cycle, but then
which is a cycle we've broken before. So you'd think we'd know how to just do it.
And
right?
it's like, but I just can't. There are things that I know that will help that I just can't get myself to do, even though they're not particularly difficult. And so it's very frustrating. And it's I think one thing I've gotten better at is not like completely like being super negative on myself as a result of that, because I know it doesn't help, but it is like a natural it is like a natural response.
I walked in this morning and I said to Jarvis, I had a really hard time getting out of bed. And Jarvis was like, same.
Yeah.
Well, your bed's really high.
Yeah.
You have a 40-foot high bed.
I had to rappel.
You had to use a vine.
How'd you get it from the jungle every day, by the way? That's pretty impressive.
What were you going to say, Anastasia?
I for some reason there's this I put pressure on myself that what I should be doing is waking up at 7 a.m. every morning, going for a walk.
Mm-hmm.
That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
It's not happening.
Right.
And
should is always an interesting word for that.
Yeah, should is like the thing that like my therapist will be like, you shouldn't. It's like, be careful with like that word, right?
Mm-hmm.
That expectation, because it's like can be very dangerous.
If we're just going to imagine it, you should not need to do that and always feel great.
Yeah.
That would be the should.
But so when I'm laying in bed all cozy and warm and not wanting to leave my bed, I'm also beating myself up, being like, why aren't you getting up? You should be up already. Get out of the bed right now.
That speaks volumes about your ambitions. I got up today. I was like, that's incredible. I got up before like 1 p.m. Like, I'm the best. I woke up with time to make breakfast this morning, and that's the thing, it is just like an accomplishment. The frustrating thing is accomplishing things you did not set goals for because they don't mean anything relative to you. It's I completed a side quest I didn't even know I had.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I don't know how to
chapter 2.
It's weird. It's like the type of thing that you don't know how to convert that into energy.
Yeah, this is a currency I can't use.
Oh,
here.
weird. It's like I don't have the machine that converts this extracurricular like thing into good vibes.
Can I use this how do I change this?
I was talking to one of our friends who's been doing a bunch of stuff lately, and I texted them and I was like, dude, how are you so productive? Just as like kind of like not even it was really just like a, hey, because I had already positively responded to them like saying that they were doing some stuff. And then they were like, honestly, I think it's that I don't have anxiety. And I was like, respect.
Dude.
I was like, they were like, yeah, because like a lot of my friends with anxiety say they like lose lots of time to that. And I was like, yeah.
I think
that
it's
tracks.
easy for us to get a little bubbled in, like, because we do spend a lot of time and have a lot of friends who talk about and acknowledge the experience of anxiety, depression, anything circling around that. And sometimes I forget that that's not a universal experience, at least not for the same reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And doing this show, actually, when we did the live show, some people came up and they talked very complimentarily. Thank you to all those people. Britishly hard for me to hear, but feels nice nonetheless. If someone comes up, they often will say, I got into some kind of therapy or self-development, something to improve my quality of life, looked into medication. None of these things are necessary, but that, just so happens. And I forget that's...
And those people want to share it because it was meaningful to them, and they want to share that you kind of added meaning or added value to their life.
I played the minor role in them getting into that, which sometimes they will over attribute to the show.
Definitely,
certainly not. The cogs, this was a cog in an enormous, this is Big Ben, right?
Right, you were already looking for someone just to say this one little thing to get you over the hump, right?
But when I hear stuff like that, it always reminds me that the dialogue, I feel like at least since moving to San Francisco, like almost 10 years, I feel like at least since then, conversations about stuff like this have had no tension to them. They've been very... I moved here, cynical little shit, and then was like overwhelmed with sincerity. And I went like, oh, you can just do that. You can be... People will be kind.
There's like not a cost to it.
It's what was I hiding for? Like, what was I finding? And now, in retrospect, I was hiding because it wasn't really welcome where I grew up or was before. Whereas now, and I think I've become sheltered to the extent where I forget that like there are plenty of people our age or close to who are suffering with the kind of things we're talking about and still 100% believe it's not real.
Yeah.
Because why would they? Why would they have changed that? I had my mind changed by a person. Right. I didn't just miraculously, I didn't rise and grind my way to self-awareness or something. Right. And I'm not a paragon of mental health, but like even the fact that, case in point, you read a book pertaining to this topic, that is, I
actually listened to the audiobook. I want to be completely transparent.
No, the podcast?
The podcast based on the novel, based on the audiobook.
It was actually a podcast based on the cliff notes of
right.
That I was a drawing and was interpretive.
It was
and
based
it was
on what
noise.
someone who heard someone who'd read, watched, listened to the audiobook.
Okay, fine. It was a TikTok.
But actually, to that,
I watched a TikTok on 2x speed.
to that point, like I realize I consume more books if I listen to audiobooks.
Oh,
so instead of making myself feel bad and make myself feel like a failure because I'm only doing audiobooks, I just accepted that and I was like, this is great. I'm consuming.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
there's another side quest I hadn't set for myself. I listened to the Witcher series on audiobook. I have not read a book. I've never finished a book in my whole life. In fact, the only book I think I've even got close was the autobiography of a comedian called Peter Kay in the UK, who is, I would say, a 2 out of 10 level comedian. just some of the most hacky bullshit ever. But it's that classic British stand-up from like the late 90s where it's like, so I've gone down to the chip shop and I've got to chip in some pennies to buy it. And like everyone's like, yes, this is fucking amazing.
This is incredible.
I'm going to fucking kill someone. This is so good.
I'm just going to smack somebody.
I'm
so
gonna
good it
start
makes
a
you want
war.
to smack your mama.
Oh, she want to slap about your missus because it's so good. Jacob. By the way, this is Anastasia for new
Hi.
listeners. We don't, I guess.
I
we
like
say
to just
Jarvis and Jordan.
sneak my voice in.
Anastasia off camera by design. No,
Okay.
no, wait, by choice. Not by design.
By God's design. And Jacob behind the ones and twos, of course. He's waving.
Jacob's waving.
He's not saying
Jacob, one of the-
anything.
He did
There's
like
no
a,
camera.
he did like a wave to his royal subjects.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, my lord. Thank you for recording the podcast. Huh?
And we've also got peeps on the beat.
Big money.
Ew.
Big money, peeps. Chuckles.
We've got some holiday content coming up over on the Patreon. This one's just coming out a normal Friday show, but look at
It
our
is close to the holidays, though.
It is close. Happy holidays, everybody. Hope you're having fun. I am enjoying the fact that people expect less around this time, and I'm taking advantage of that.
That does help.
Like, I got asked if I was going to something, and I was like, the holidays. And they were like, I get it. And I was like, I just made that up. And that's just a thing you're allowed to say at this period of time.
Hey, what's up? Have you paid your taxes? The holidays.
Holidays.
I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, dude, I just got an email about taxes.
It's fine. You don't have to pay them anymore.
So what?
You don't have to pay those.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Ixnay on the axes
It's like to
day.
help. It's like on the axes avoidance illegally. Hey, I can't do pig Latin properly.
I am pretty good at Pig Latin because my sister and I would speak in it all the time.
What are you saying?
I ain't day leave bay ooye. Just kidding. I believe you.
I may Ister say and I.
That's like a Star Wars language. That's exactly like Unda Bulugu. Unda Be Sudu.
Okay, this is so
I listen
old
to
and-
Jizz.
Oh yeah,
that's the Star Wars universe name for the music that they play
In the cantina.
In the cantina, yeah.
Which they could have just called jazz. They
or
have other
jazz,
stuff.
or like I don't know, just
Pop.
anything that's not jizz.
Yeah, it actually never came up. Wow,
Do you
Obi-Wan, what
think
genre
that-
is this?
Do you think the slang word jizz was used at the
Anastasia.
time?
Jesus.
I don't think this is something I want to get to the bottom of today. But I
This
don't
is-
know. I would assume no, because otherwise, how do you make that choice?
You should do that on your podcast.
Okay.
Find the year where
I'll travel in time to when jizz was
Invented.
Can you travel
Points.
space and time or just time?
place and time.
that would suck. Travel through time and then have to fly to the location.
But well, we do that.
Do-do.
Like
Doo-doo.
like one time I flew in the Concorde. Do you know the Concorde?
Yeah.
I'm not
It was like a plane that was real fast, but then I feel like capitalism happened, and then they were like, actually, let's make it slower because it's more cost efficient.
What if the door
Well,
fell off?
I think it was too expensive. It wasn't that popular because everyone was like, you could pay thousands of dollars. I don't know the actual price and get to England in 2 hours from LA, or take longer and pay less.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
people just were like, meh.
I
I'll pay
remember
less.
there being some. I feel like there might be some corporate something afoot also. But I'm
Probably.
not sure.
And something about birds. Like, I don't know if this is true, but people used to joke that like geese killed the Concorde.
Interesting.
Sully dealt with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Sully figured it out. My one true hero. I haven't heard that, but also I'm not an expert on the Concorde. I'm just aware of it.
I'm not really a geese guy.
I'm more of a. I can't name a different type of grape, but if I could, then
is Concorde a grape?
Is a Concorde a type of grape?
Yeah,
I don't know the grape. I don't know the grape type. Yeah, that's maybe feeling a little dready, but we do that.
Yeah, dread. I'll get past it. I just have to express that I fear that I will never create anything good again, and that sucks to feel. But it's not true, right, everyone?
You're currently creating something amazing.
That's because I'm involved. Though.
You hate that answer.
Let's make like a cheer for Jarvis.
Hip hip hooray!
We have done this so many times. Jarvis keeps saying we share one brain cell because we keep saying things at the same time. But
what about maybe?
All right, gang. We're gonna head over to patreon.com/sadboyz and continue the good times. They're gonna continue becoming unhinged.
He's shutting down. Moxie.
Yeah.
You can think of us right now as, in a way, we're dying as the episode ends. In between every episode, we are dead.
Okay.
But you can keep us alive. And again, I don't want to
keep us alive.
I don't want to extort the $5. Like, obviously, no need to spend
keep
it. It's
us
just
alive.
Well, if you don't pay that $5, I do die, and it does hurt. So maybe
we do have to defibrillate you.
Go what?
Defibrillate? Is that what's?
That's inappropriate.
Yeah, that's a defibrillate.
Don't
defibrillate.
Defenestrate.
We throw you out a window between episodes.
Emancipate.
I gotta be careful because I was like getting dangerously close to something that I could go to jail for, apparently, in Florida.
Wow.
Yeah. You hear about that?
Decapitate?
DiCaprio.
Go to jail in Florida for that.
Defenestrate, defibrillate DiCaprio.
Oh, no, you go to jail.
If you resuscitate Leonardo. And we end every episode of Sad Boyz with a particular phrase.
We love you.
And we're sorry.
What the fuck is this? What's going on with his shirt? Was it a scarf?
I guess it does look like he was like sliced by Zorro. 1, 2, 3.
Marshmallow in it.
Gucci girl, how you doing? How you moving, girl? Moving, girl. How's your day looking? That future girl, yeah, we on now. Take my money, go away, all you want it.
Girl, too rich for me.